Here we go. Hey man, so listen, at some point, we're gonna ask that question that's gonna be real vital, and we're gonna start trying to shoot it around the room. We wanna know, how do you guys feel about Adrian Peterson and what is going on and transpired in the last few weeks? This kid got disciplined at 4 years old by a man that supposedly has the strongest hands in the NFL.
But there's no way in the world that you're supposed to be hitting a 4-year-old around his testicle area.
I don't think you need to go overboard and hurt the kid. But man, if you get a whipping, man, I mean, you got to start the discipline at some time. I mean, right now is the perfect time to do it. I got a 4-year-old.
Right. I don't think that's too young. I think that's just the right time between 2 and 4, because that's when they start understanding a little bit. So you got to kind of put a discipline on them a little bit.
It's one thing to discipline, but we're talking about abusing women. Did you see the pictures?
Yeah, I got them up. There were bruises, man. I mean, it's not.
Where?
Point is, after he's been evaluated at the hospital, if they don't think that he's going to suffer any long-term damages, man, I don't think it's a role of the state to come in and say you discipline your kid too hard. Who am I?
You can't take a man a livelihood away for a whole season. Not for that.
Why not?
Everybody disciplining their kid. It just so happens that the pictures got out. He's a high-profile player. Every other NFL player beat their kid.
They could send me to anger management, but how seriously am I going to take it? They could give me 8 games, but how seriously am I going to take it? I want you to know we're not playing with you. This is serious.
How many of y'all in this room have ever whipped your kids to a point where they wept like that? See? See how quiet it got in here? See, this is what I'm talking about. But we got to get to a point.
How many of us got whipped like that, or even worse than that?
Yeah, but
I'm from the South.
Yeah, I got it.
I got it.
I got it in
Like,
school.
with everything.
I mean, my parents are both from Mississippi. I got talked back. I got slapped or I got in trouble. I could get a whipping from my mom or my dad back in the day. All I had to do with my daughter when she was young was just raise my voice, and that was enough to make her cry and get right. My grandson, he hates being on a timeout more than getting popped. Believe it or not.
Black people don't do timeouts. That's number one. I saw it on TV. I said, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
We ain't never did it in my family.
Okay, come
and
on.
I'm sure a lot of us ain't never done it.
You got kids.
I do.
Would you whoop your kids like that?
I mean, personally, I would not.
Then why would that be
I got 2
okay for him to
girls.
do it?
Adrian Peterson has an African-American male growing up in the United States.
Okay.
Now, you got a lot of cultural traps and pitfalls that young black men have to deal with. Right? You got all that, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so you can't really go light, you know what I mean, when you're dealing with black males, man, because you got to keep them on track.
Not
I'm
at
not
4
saying,
years old, bro.
okay, man, it started with a young, man.
But you know how they used to always say, you know, well, it happened to me. I went through it. It's okay. So, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But guess what? At some point, when you know better, you got to do better.
Again, we never advocated beating, by the way. Just want to say that for the record, right? And I just think that one pop is probably, you know, more effective and efficient in terms of time than saying stop it for 80 times.
Out of 6 people in this room, 2 men said that they don't call it abuse. You know? And I have seen so many people all over the world just feel like it was so appalling. But now, today, you know, we had this little forum, we talking.
It's called the silent minority. A lot of times, man, we're not gonna sit up here and say anything because
you go.
people on the other side are so passionate that, you know, you guys gonna name call and you're gonna beat the other people who don't agree with you.
Okay.
So the people in the silent minority, we just don't say anything. Doesn't necessarily
You're not
mean
a
that we
part
don't
of the
agree.
silent minority. You can stop that. You may be a lot of things, but silent you're not.